This week we are working on equivalent fractions, and we are trying to solidify that base so that when students are adding or subtracting fractions, they know and remember to change the denominator as well as the numerator. And I always say whatever we do to the denominator, we do to the numerator, or whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. Today we're just going to be using those handy multiplication tables to help us out. Again, equivalent fractions are different fractions that name the same number, as this demonstration shows you. Here the shaded area is 3/4. We could break that same piece of pie down into 8 pieces, and 6/8 would fill the same amount of space as the 3/4 of the same pie did. That's why these two fractions are equivalent. I also have fraction bars down here below that show you we can say 1/3 of this bar is filled in, or 2/6 of this bar is filled in, or even 4/12. That's 4 boxes out of the 12 boxes on this fraction bar are filled in. All 3 of these line up to be the same amount. However, the fractions show different numbers as the numerator and the denominator. We are looking at the multiplication table today. And notice down here they gave you some examples. So they said 4/7. So that way I know I'm starting with the row that has the 4 starting on it and the row that has the 7 starting on it. Next, they multiplied the denominator and the numerator by 2. I know 7 times 2 is 14, and I know 4 times 2 is 8. Then they took it to the next level, which if you go up here, you see they're multiplying both the numerator and the denominator by 3 to get 12/21, which is what they have right here. We'll do another one. Since they've multiplied it by basically 1 and 1 is 4/7. When you multiply those numerators and the denominator by 2, you get 8/14. Then we know that this was multiplying the original fraction of 4/7 by 3. This one, we will be multiplying the original fraction of 4/7 by, and we know what it is because we can go here, 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. And 4 times 7, if you go 7 times 4, that's 28. So 16/28. And again, these can work backwards as well as going forwards. We would just be reducing or simplifying the fractions if we worked our way from the right to the left, because 40/70 is the same as 4/7. We just multiplied the numerator and the denominator by 10. So in order to simplify that, we could divide the numerator and the denominator by 10 to give us 4/7. So right up here, this is the beginning of your very first number 1. It says color rows 4 and 9 in the first table. Use the table to complete the equivalent fractions for 4/9. So don't forget, up in the table, you need to color in. You can use a colored pencil, a crayon, or even just your pencil. Maybe you'll do lines. You would do the 4th row and the 9th row. So here again, they're starting with 4/9. Those are our 2 starting numbers. There's your 4, there's your 9. Then, and again, if we multiply that by 1/1, it's just itself. So that's why there's 4 and 9 right there. Next, we know if we multiply 4 times 2, that would be 8. And 9 times 2 is 18. That way we get 8/18 is your very first fraction that you write in there. The second one, of course, we're multiplying the original fraction by 3. So 4 times 3, and forgive me for my mess. That equals 12. 9 times 3 is, of course, oh my goodness, my multiplication sign got out of control, is 27. And you continue that on until you fill up that row. Thank you so much.